The desert was silent. The sun had not yet reached its highest point. A small group stood on the plains of Karbala, surrounded by an army many times their size. They knew what was coming. They knew there would be no reinforcements. They knew there would be no escape. Yet not one of them walked away. History remembers Karbala because of Imam Husayn radiallahu anhu. But history also remembers the remarkable men who stood beside him. Who were these companions? What gave them the strength to remain when leaving was still possible? What kind of faith makes a person choose sacrifice over safety? Today, we explore the story of the loyal companions of Imam Husayn ibn Ali radiallahu anhu, the men whose devotion, courage, and steadfastness became one of the most powerful examples of loyalty in Islamic history. To understand the companions of Imam Husayn radiallahu anhu, we must first understand the circumstances that brought them to Karbala. The year was 61 AH. The Muslim world was experiencing political tensions following the death of Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan. His son Yazid assumed leadership, and many important figures in the Muslim community were faced with difficult decisions. Among them was Imam Husayn ibn Ali radiallahu anhu, the beloved grandson of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Historical sources record that Imam Husayn radiallahu anhu chose not to give allegiance and eventually departed from Medina. Later, he traveled to Mecca. Meanwhile, many people in Kufa sent letters expressing support and inviting him to come. These letters gave hope that a significant number of Muslims were willing to support his position. To assess the situation, Imam Husayn radiallahu anhu sent his cousin, Muslim ibn Aqil radiallahu anhu, to Kufa. Initially, reports appeared encouraging. However, the political situation changed rapidly. Muslim ibn Aqil radiallahu anhu was eventually killed, and the circumstances in Kufa became unfavorable. By the time this reality became fully clear, Imam Husayn radiallahu anhu was already on his journey. Eventually, he and his caravan arrived at Karbala. The small group accompanying him included members of his family and a number of loyal companions. These were not ordinary followers. Many of them understood exactly how dangerous the situation had become. As the days passed, the opposing forces grew larger. The possibility of a peaceful resolution became increasingly distant. Yet, the companions remained firm. One of the most powerful moments occurred on the night before Ashura. Historical reports mention that Imam Husayn radiallahu anhu gathered his companions and informed them of the seriousness of the situation. He did not force anyone to stay. He did not demand loyalty. Instead, he gave them permission to leave. According to historical narrations, he made it clear that the enemy was seeking him, and anyone who departed would not be blamed. Imagine that moment. The darkness of the desert night, the uncertainty of the next morning, the knowledge that death could be only hours away. This was the moment when people could quietly leave and save their lives. Yet the companions responded with extraordinary loyalty. Historical reports preserve statements from several companions who declared that they would never abandon Imam Husayn radiallahu anhu. They expressed their willingness to remain with him regardless of the consequences. For them, loyalty was not dependent upon victory. Their commitment was based upon conviction. Among these companions was Habib ibn Muzahir radiallahu anhu, one of the most respected supporters of Imam Husayn radiallahu anhu. He was an elderly companion known for his faith and dedication. Despite his age, he remained determined to stand beside Imam Husayn radiallahu anhu. There was also Muslim ibn Awsajah radiallahu anhu, another loyal supporter who chose to remain firm despite the overwhelming danger. These men were not driven by personal gain. They were not seeking wealth or power. They knew that the coming battle offered neither. What they possessed was faith, commitment, and a sense of responsibility. Then came the morning of Ashura, the 10th day of Muharram, a day that would forever change Islamic history. The companions prepared themselves for what lay ahead. The opposing army numbered in the thousands. The camp of Imam Husayn radiallahu anhu contained only a small group. The difference in numbers was obvious, but the companions did not focus on numbers. They focused on fulfilling their duty. Historical sources record that the battle unfolded gradually. The companions of Imam Husayn radiallahu anhu entered the confrontation one after another. Each understood that he might never return. Each understood that his sacrifice could be his final act in this world. Yet they continued, one by one, companion after companion, martyr after martyr. As the hours passed, the circle around Imam Husayn radiallahu anhu became smaller. Every loss was deeply painful. Every martyrdom brought another moment of grief. But none of the companions abandoned their position. Their loyalty remained unshaken until the very end. The courage displayed on that day was not merely physical courage. It was moral courage. It was the courage to remain committed when the outcome appeared certain. It was the courage to uphold one's principles even when facing overwhelming pressure. For this reason, the companions of Imam Husayn radiallahu anhu are remembered not simply as participants in a historical event. They were remembered as symbols of loyalty and sacrifice. Generations of Muslims have reflected upon their example. Their story demonstrates that faith is tested not during moments of comfort, but during moments of hardship. When the price of loyalty becomes high, true commitment becomes visible. That was the lesson demonstrated by the companions of Karbala. As the sun set over Karbala, much had changed. Many of the companions who had stood beside Imam Husayn radiallahu anhu had given their lives. The battlefield had witnessed extraordinary sacrifice. But something else had also happened. Their loyalty became immortal. Centuries have passed since the events of Karbala. Empires have risen and fallen. Kings and rulers have been forgotten. Yet the names of those loyal companions continue to be remembered. Not because they possessed great armies, not because they achieved worldly power, but because they remained faithful when faithfulness demanded everything. Their story reminds us that true loyalty is not proven when circumstances are easy. It is proven when sacrifice becomes necessary. The companions of Imam Husayn radiallahu anhu faced one of the greatest tests imaginable, and their response became a lesson for history. A lesson about courage, a lesson about conviction, a lesson about standing firm upon what one believes to be right. And that is why, more than 13 centuries later, the companions of Karbala continue to inspire hearts across the world. Their bodies remained on the plains of Karbala, but their loyalty became part of history forever.